I am upset at my alienated child. They are rude to me. They only use me for money. That is a common concern I get from alienated and estranged parents. You might think that you are alone in feeling like your kids are being mean to you, rude to you, that you get upset with your kids. But guess what? This is a very common way to feel. And we often get upset at our children because we feel like they are being used, that we are being used as a checkbook for the kid. If this resonates with you, if you feel like your alienated kid is using you as a checkbook, is incredibly rude to you, does not respect your rules or your wishes, please drop in the chat right now, connect. So I know who's resonating with this message. Because I think parents are ashamed to say, I am upset at my kid. I am angry at my child. I feel like they do not respect me. I've lost all my parental authority. But there are ways to confront this situation that can lead you to reuniting. There are ways to confront this situation that can lead you to have a better relationship than ever. So that's what I want to share with you on this live today. So drop in the chat, drop connect if you are resonating with this content, drop connect if you are an alienated parent who wants to reunite. People are coming in late, but I've seen some new faces. So the people who are just joining, if you are currently experiencing alienation or you want to improve the relationship between you and your child, drop connect in the chat so I can see who's resonating with this message. And also feel free to leave a question at any time. So today's chat is something that people often come to me with, parents often come to me with, but they are almost ashamed to admit it. I'm upset with my kid because they do not respect me. I am upset with my child because they are using me for money. I am upset with my child because they will not do what I say. I have no more parental authority. If this resonates with you, drop it in the chat that this is resonating with you. Okay? And don't be shy. So April just said connect, so this is resonating with you. Anyone else who is resonating with this messaging of having a child who you feel like is using you, who's not respecting your parental authority? If that is the case, put it in the chat. So, who am I? Why should you listen to me before I get into some juicy tidbits on how to establish boundaries with your child? My name is Ginger Gentile. I'm the director of the Racing Family documentary. I'm a child who went through hell and trauma through my parents' high conflict divorce, and I am on a mission to make sure no child suffers like me. And to do that, I've developed a program that helps parents reconnect with their children in record time. And that is by following the steps that all their parents have done. So tonight I want to dive into a very juicy topic, a very tough topic, which is what to do when your kid is upset with you, what to do when your kid is using you for money. We often get questions like this, like, what do I do when my kid asks me to send money but there's no relationship? My kid wants to be in my will, but I have no relationship with them. What should I do? So if anyone has a question or resonates with this, please put it in the chat so I can answer your questions. Here is the big secret. And what I always tell parents, and I want to do this because holiday season is coming up, do I give my kid gifts? What should I do? Should I get them something extravagant? So let's start with gift giving. If anyone has a question around gift giving in this holiday season, please drop it in the chat. So, I advise the parents who I work with to always be generous, to never deny a child a gift. For birthdays, for Hanukkah, for Christmas, for holidays. But this does not mean you have to get the child an expensive gift. In fact, an overly expensive gift could make the child feel guilty because they're not allowed to love you, and now you are spending all this money on them. So how do we get around this, right? We get around this by we pick out one sentimental gift. I love books, or something that you know is very meaningful for the child. I had parents who were like, I'm getting them a cell phone charger. That's so anonymous. Something that really connects with their soul and their spirit. That's why I love books. I love giving wisdom. And you can write a lovely inscription in the book that only the child can see when they read it, but they can display on their shelf and they know it's a secret. If you are dealing with a younger child who's in severe alienation and they're living at home, perhaps sending them a gift like food that they can eat the evidence, right? Or something very anonymous might work. But we're going to pick one sentimental gift. Now, what you have the right to say is your gift is here, or your gifts are here. You can come pick them up at any time, and they'll always be here for you. But we don't have to send them. We don't have to let them pick them up or drop them in the driveway. So we can establish a limit and some parental authority like that. So what we're saying is, I'll meet you halfway, but I'm not going to throw out your gift. I'm not going to not get you a gift. But you have to come and pick it up, and we have to exchange some words like adults. Let me know if anyone has any questions about that. And when we have older children, what we always want to say is, you are becoming a man, or you are becoming a young woman. Therefore, I'm no longer giving you an allowance. Therefore, I know you can figure this out on your own. Therefore, I'm only giving money in emergencies. So we remind them that they're becoming adults. This is especially important for young men who have been child-fied by society. You are becoming a young man. I know you can handle this, and I'm here to support you, but that means I'm no longer giving you a weekly allowance. That means you need to get a job, but I know you can. Let me know if you have any questions about this. So to recap what we reviewed so far is for the holidays, we're going to give one nice, well thought out sentimental gift. I really love books for this. And we can put a limit, like you have to come pick it up and see me in person, but we're not going to say I'm not getting you a gift. Because we need to remember that when our children reach out to us in anger or say they don't want to see us, this is because that's all they know. That's what they've been taught by the alienator. So we cannot be angry at them for reacting the way that they've been taught. They are copying all that they know. And what the alienated children, like myself, but also the other ones who have reunited, and I get all of my methodology, so you know, is from my own experience, from making my films, and from talking to and working with families who reunite. And if you stay tuned for a little while longer, I'm going to share some big successes that we had this week with some parents. So what kids always say is, even if they turn the gift back, even if they don't accept it, even if they can't be there, whenever you reach out, that is how they know you love them. So when we stop reaching out, so when we stop giving gifts, the reaction what happens in their head is, mommy or daddy no longer loves me, they've abandoned me. So we always have to keep reaching out, but doing it in a way that's not overbearing. Now, if any of you are saying, well, how exactly do I do this? This is where, once we have the mindset, I accept my child's reactions, whatever they are, because that's the only way they know how to say, I love you, and that's what they've been taught. When we're able to get to that healing place, to let go of the trauma response, we need strategy, we need new skills, we need templates of what to say. How many people on this chat, right, connect, if you are worried about making a mistake? Right, connect if you are worried about making a mistake. If you don't know what to say, if you don't know when to reach out. Write connect. So for those of you who are struggling to reach out, struggling to know what to do, I am going to invite you to work with not only me, but with other alienated kids who have reunited. I'm working with Dawn McKendry. She was alienated from her dad for over 44 years and reunited with him. I'm working with Andrew Faulkner. He was alienated with his mom for almost a decade, reunited with her. I have some more surprise guests coming up. But what all these kids have in common is that they were able to reconnect, and all of their parents followed the same steps. So what I thought when I started to really work with parents reuniting and work with kids is, why don't we just copy what works? So much of what is out there about parental alienation is confusing. It is about proving that there's a problem. Can you hear me now? Someone said they can't hear me. Can someone hear me now? Shanahan Release, if you can, hold on. Let me see if that's better. Was my volume too low? Sorry about that. So, for those of you who, let me know if you can hear me. Okay, everyone else is hearing me. So, Shahanan, perhaps just need to increase your volume, but I increased my volume too, so thanks for letting me know. So for those of you who are saying, how do I reunite? How many of you would love to be able to ask an ex-alienated kid who reunited what to do in your situation? Write connect if you would love to ask an ex-alienated kid who reunited what to do in your situation. If you would love to ask other reunited parents what to do, write connect. Because let's go back for the people who just joined the chat. If you're wondering, so tonight's theme is how to put boundaries on your alienated kid, how to deal with the anger. What we've dealt with is how to give gifts for the holidays, encourage them to come back while setting limits and not making them feel guilty by buying an overly expensive gift. If someone who listened before wants to drop in the chat what my solution is for gifts, so we all have it written down, that'd be great, and I get to see if you're listening. The other thing is, when a child asks us for money and we don't want to give them money, we can put the money contingents on talking to us, on having a meeting. I think that's totally fine. We should always be there for emergencies. Health emergencies, transportation emergencies, we are always there. But we can say with love, you are now an adult. You are becoming a man. You are becoming a woman. So I know you can get a job. I know you can take care of yourself, but I'm always here in the case of an emergency. And when our children are rude, we always say, we could always set a boundary. Now here's the big thing I wish everybody would take away from this. Boundaries are for you, not the other person. This applies to your ex as well. So the way we often say a boundary is, don't yell at me, and then someone yells at us and we say, you crossed my boundary. That's not how boundaries work. A boundary is, if you yell at me, I will not continue this conversation. I do not respond to insults. So you always say what your boundary is, and then you stick with it. And the trap a lot of alienated parents fall into is they say a boundary, then they don't stick with it. If you don't want to stick with the boundary, if you don't care, if you're like, I don't care if my kids hit me, yell at me, demand money from me, as long as I see them, which is okay because that is up to you, then don't say my boundaries are this, right? I worked with a mom, and the kids would always say, Mom, I need money. And she would always say, I won't answer texts if you're rude to me, but I'll drop off the money. I'm like, well, what are you teaching them? You're teaching them nothing. You're teaching them to be rude. So any questions before we begin to wrap up, or am I super clear? So I see Amy Beth is interested in reuniting. I see Christina is interested in reuniting. Mark Smith and Rob are already working with me. Oh, I have a great question. Brooke says, How would you handle an 18-year-old who only acknowledges the parent to work for the parent in their business and collects a paycheck but won't participate in any family things and won't acknowledge the parent as a parent? Well, first of all, Brooke, I would say, one, be grateful that you have some contact with your son or daughter. There are many parents who would love to be in your situation. Keep showing them what a wonderful person you are. But if the job is dependent on them participating in family activities, make that clear. Say, if you want to work with me and continue to carry a paycheck, you have to refer to me as mom and you have to do these things. Now, here's the tricky part. Are you okay with them quitting? Only you, Brooke, can answer that question. Right? Because what you're teaching them, people learn by how you allow yourself to be treated. And you're allowing yourself to be treated just as a paycheck provider. Right? Let me know if you have any questions about that, Brooke. Anyone else? Jeffrey said, did you send this week's Zoom link? Yes, it gets sent out every day. It's the same, and it's on the calendar invite. So you should have gotten it. Any other questions? So Christina said clear. Anyone else? So who here who hasn't worked with me yet wants to reunite? Who here is ready to reunite? Now, it's okay if you don't want to reunite. This is questions for Christina, Okamoto, Amy, Beth, Shoshana, and Brooke. Because in about a few minutes, I'm going to get on a call with some parents who are moving steps forward. I want to share a success with y'all. One mom I'm working with who's in part of my roadmap and also does one-on-one coaching with me, after 2 sessions with me, she decided on her own, without my guidance, to reach out to her son and had a 50-minute conversation after 3 years of no contact. Another mom who I worked with, her son reached out to her and invited her out for coffee, and they talked for 2 hours. Another dad I worked with, he went from not being able to see his teenage sons to having overnights, to chatting with them all the time. Another mom I worked with, completely alienated, since we started working together, in her own words, her relationship went from a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 to a 7, and she's been on 8 vacations with her daughter. Who would like to join me tonight in about 10 minutes on the Zoom? So Christina, I'm going to send you the link to sign up, and if you sign up right now in the next few minutes, even if it takes a little longer, I will make sure. So I'm sending you right now, Christina, I'm sending you a comment to the link to sign up, and I'm also sending you a message. Anyone else who wants to join Christina tonight? Amy Beth? Okay, cool. Amy Beth. So it's also in the description under the video is the link to sign up, okay? And it's on there as a pinned comment too. So what you're signing up for is my 12-week reversing alienation roadmap. Anyone can also message me if they need help. And this is what you'll get in the roadmap. You'll get access to 12 weeks of amazing lessons that will give you step-by-step, my 6-step process on how to reunite. And this works if you haven't talked to your kids for years. It works if you're in a crazy court case. You'll learn how to get the alienation to stop, or at least calm down. You'll learn what to say to your kid in any situation. You'll also learn how to turn all the professionals in your case or community members into allies. But once a week, we get on a Zoom call, and these Zoom calls are recorded if you miss them at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so that's about in like 5-10 minutes. And myself and also other ex-alienated kids who are reunited, who are trained as coaches, and parents who are reunited get on to answer your questions. So you can take the roadmap and use it for you. So this 3-month program is available now, and prices are going to go up in the future, but right now, 3 months of group coaching, the roadmap, it also includes meditations to change your brain and rewire your brain. It's only $4.99. That's about 1 hour of a lawyer's time. But this, if you're in court, it'll make your court process go smoother. It'll keep you out of court. And if you can't use the courts, it'll give you a path forward. And this is based on what works for other parents. So if anyone has a question, please drop in the chat. So we have those 2 people, wonderful advice, clear. Anyone else want the link? Any other questions before I get off the chat to join all of the parents who are reuniting? And like I said, I'm always amazed. I get like one crazy thing is that one mom I worked with, because sometimes people don't tell me, I start seeing all these posts of her and her daughter after 2 years no contact on Facebook, and I reach out, I'm like, did you reunite? She goes, oh yeah, I'm teaching my daughter how to drive. So when you reunite, please let me know. And if you're like, okay, I need some more time to see if this really works for me, go to reversingparentalalienation.com. I have a half-hour video lesson there, and you'll see testimonials from other parents who reunited, including parents who say stuff like, 1 hour of the roadmap is worth 10 hours of a lawyer's time. Any other questions? So Brooke, okay, great. I'm going to send you the link, Brooke. And if you I'm sending you a message, Brooke. So we meet, so the calls are recorded. Anyone else want to join Brooke, want to join Amy Beth and Christina tonight in reuniting? Let me see who's signing up. Anyone else? Anyone have a question about signing up? Anyone like, I'm not sure? Because we even have some people on the chat who are in the program who can also answer questions. So anyone else have a question? Anyone else not sure? This is the time. I'm here. I have about 3 more minutes to answer your questions. Jeffrey, Rob, Cal, do you want to drop in the chat what you've been learning from the roadmap to help people make a decision to join? Anyone? Great. Let me see. I'm not going to say their name because it's always confidential, but one person just signed up. Awesome. I'll see you in a few minutes. You'll get the link. Who else? Anyone else? Great. Well, remember, if you are on the fence, go to reversingparentalalienation.com, see all the video testimonials of the parents who we reunited, and you will get an outlay of what's in the roadmap and my methodology. And always, if you're on the fence about the cost, $4.99 is about 1 hour of a lawyer. This is a whole system that will help you reunite. And your kids need you healthy, and they need you in their lives. So I'll follow up with all the people who said they were interested, but then got cold feet to see what I can do to help. So I'm going to end the chat right now. So thank you so much. I hope everyone reunites for the holidays, and if not this year, for next year. And remember, if you don't know why you aren't reuniting, if you don't know why you're stuck, you have 2 choices. You can keep doing this on your own, keep making the same mistakes, keep losing time, not getting invited to your kids' weddings, missing another Christmas, or you can have the skill set and the accountability you need to make the changes so you attract your kids back like a magnet. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight, and I will see our new members shortly. Bye.